afternoon. I am about to head into a little bit of a meeting. I would say it's kind of like a consultation, but basically the other week I went and got a blood test because I'm taking part in this 8-week comprehensive little biomarker thing. So basically I'm getting all of my biomarkers checked from that blood test with a specific panel of things that they are looking for. And this is run by a place called Vitality 360. So I'm meeting with Dr. Amelia Phillips and she's going to take me through all of my results because I think they came back a couple of days ago. So I've been really keen to see them and very interested to get her advice. And this pairs with an 8-week functional treatment plan. So that's things like diet, exercise, lifestyle changes, any of those kinds of things. And I've never done anything like that before. I just thought it was super interesting and gives us a really all-round insight into our health. And you guys know that I absolutely love anything to do with self-development, improvement, health and wellness, particularly with my background with the chronic illness and things as well. So I'm really excited to look into that. I'm hoping my recent surgery isn't giving me any random inflammation markers, so I will have to let her know about that. But I thought I would bring you along. So I'm just going to have a quick lunch and then I will jump into my office and we can have the consultation. My consultation is at 2, so I've got about 6 minutes to get my lunch down, but I actually already made a coconut milk chia pod the other night. I made a couple of these for some meal prep, and for breakfast this morning, I've already had a really big breakfast. I did like homemade baked beans and eggs and avocado and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really hungry, which is perfect because I'm just gonna have this with some chopped up strawberries. There we have it. That is my little lunch, just a coconut chia pod. I just use around about 2 teaspoons or 3 teaspoons maybe in this case of chia seeds and just coconut milk, give it a really good shake. Sometimes I add in a little bit of vanilla essence as well, and then just put it in the fridge overnight. If you want it to be creamier, you could also put in a little bit of tinned coconut milk, but of course, just be careful of, I guess, like the calories in that if your fitness sort of goals and things like that may not align because that's really fatty sometimes. But yeah, I just love eating chia seed bowls.
You look so healthy, you are so healthy, you're doing all these wonderful things for your health, and you represent somebody who's taking that proactive approach rather than waiting for something to go wrong or waiting till you're approaching late 40s and 50s. You're actually taking an interest in it now. Is that because of your health journey that you've been on?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people who have followed me on this channel since the beginning know that I have a chronic illness that was diagnosed, and a lot of the journey I underwent was how do I kind of combine diet and lifestyle with the medical kind of things that were necessary, because it can't just be that, we can't just put all our eggs in one basket. It has to be a holistic picture. And that really got me interested in like, who do I need to talk to that can dig down into those other layers and just give me the right information. I used to have like a timer water bottle, and it's funny because my mum had come to visit to give us a hand with just taking care of me for a few days, and my partner was just remarking, going, God, neither of you drink enough water.
We have to disclaim here that obviously everything I tell you and everything we go through must not replace the advice of your doctor.
Yes.
So if we pick up any red flags today, and we do this with all our members, this is not a diagnostic tool. We're not going to sit here and diagnose you with something, but we're going to say, look, this is what the pattern says, so now you have to go and see your doctor, okay? So we're going to kick off with the big red flags because we want to make sure if there's any of those, then you need to go and speak to your doctor about those. And then we're going to dive into all these great proactive health strategies that I just mentioned.
Yeah, brilliant.
How does that sound?
No, that's great. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so the first section is probably the one we're going to look at the least today. It's got all these numbers. This is your full blood count, okay? So this basically looks at the quality of your blood cells, things about size and volume. We're going to come back to that, okay, because we tend to use these more as secondary. So I'm not going to go through all of those, so just ignore those for a moment. What I am going to do, I'm going to jump straight into the red flags because, Emma, my friend, you've got a couple of red flags. I need to flag with you.
Yeah.
And I would say that probably about 30% of our members might have a red flag that they need to seek, maybe closer to 40%. But you've got a couple of doozies here.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at your liver. We're going to look at your liver markers. Your liver is not very happy, my friend.
Oh.
Okay. So these 3 markers here, AST, ALT, and GGT. These are liver enzymes that are elevated. They're enzymes that are found in your liver and other tissues in the body, but they play really key roles in your metabolism. And when they're not functioning properly, we can see these enzymes go up.
Yeah.
Now, 2 of them elevated, and this can be a sign of pancreatitis, for example.
Yeah.
If you had acute pancreatitis, you would know about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just, from a chronic, low-grade pancreatitis, do you get any tummy upsets? Do you get any, pain in your stomach or anything like that?
Yeah, and I guess I could potentially confuse that sometimes because I'm lactose intolerant. So if I eat something with lactose in it, that could probably give me stomach problems. I feel like every woman probably gets bloating, sometimes you walk around and you look pregnant because of how bloated you are, sort of thing. So I could definitely say that happens.
The only other one I want to bring to your attention is low fasting insulin. And when your insulin is not working particularly well, it can also be a sign that your pancreas is struggling. So you can see, for example, it's saying things like pancreatic diseases such as chronic pancreatitis. So there's just a couple of things here that you that's why you can, at the bottom of here, you can download your results here. Email them to your GP and say, look, I've done this proactive blood test and I've returned some of these results. Can we chat about them, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nothing you would expect, you know what I mean? Because when you say full bloods, I'm like, oh, they'll probably just say I'm low in iron or something like that. I'm like, yep, fair enough. It makes even more sense after surgery if you've lost any blood or whatever. But it's interesting that you say that. Yeah.
Don't worry, don't be stressed or concerned because you had the surgery, and when you're recovering from day surgery, your body can, go into all weird and wacky overdrive trying to help you recover.
Yeah.
So it'll be as simple as redoing the tests. Hopefully they'll all come back. And cholesterol, I'd be surprised if it shouldn't be impacted at all by your surgery, but all the others might bounce back and be totally fine. But definitely go and get those red flags checked in.
Good morning from my car. It's currently 6:30, so pretty early to be up, especially with some makeup on, but I actually am presenting today at a property panel, so it starts at 7 a.m, which is super early, but I actually do like that because it's from 7 till 8:30, so it'll be completely done before my work day. So I thought may as well start vlogging the day and bring you guys along. Following that, I'm also going to a new client thing at about 9 a.m, so that'll be an initial consultation at someone's house to do a bit of a walkthrough with them, see what they're trying to do for their renovation, and if it looks like a project I would want to take on, I then send them a quote. But this morning I've got this presentation, and I will say one thing about me is I never get nervous for presentations. I'm a very good public speaker because from back in uni days, they used to force us to get up in front of the class and do these presentations, and everybody would be shaking like a leaf. So now these days I can just get up in front of a room and I just don't feel anything. I can just talk without preparing a speech. I've just got the slides all prepared, and I just have a pretty good feeling that it's going to go well. So if I can get a couple of clips from someone, I will. And if not, I'll just show you what I did for the slideshow because I think it looks quite nice. I've gone with kind of pastel colors, a little soft green and a beige, but I'm actually really wanting to do the branding for my business properly this year. So I actually want to get someone to do branding colors and I don't know, kind of just help me uplift, I guess, a few of the documents and things that I send out so that everything looks really professional. But I better go because I desperately want to get a very large almond cappuccino before this thing starts. So I'll catch up with you guys later. Dollars, particularly in the multi-res and commercial kind of space, relating about what they could do with their property. And this is where I might involve someone like Laura Specs that are the difference between a standard home and an architecturally designed home. It's a lead generator for the business as well, but it's also a place where I can just talk about various topics so that people can hear in depth if they're more do-it-yourself kind of people. Because I just got back from my second client meeting. The talk this morning went really well. It was kind of nice recording it actually, because sometimes you say really amazing things in the moment, and I wanted to be able to share it with Jazz so he could have a look because he wasn't able to make it today, but Yeah, I had a really lovely meeting with this couple at their property, so fingers crossed that turns into another new client. But now I'm just sitting outside getting a little bit of sun in our backyard and having a Zupa Duper, which has been my new addiction ever since surgery. I feel like ginger ale and Zupa Dupas were what were getting me through, and now I just cannot stop having them. I found the sugar-free ones, so cola is my favourite flavour, but it's very nostalgic. So I'm going to head back inside in a second. I've got an 11 o'clock Zoom call, and then I've got a 12 o'clock one for this social media kind of training that I've been working on. So I've been chipping away at that and watching all the videos, which has been really helpful. So I want to keep going with that and improving on my websites and my service offerings and things like that. And then I'm going to have some pumpkin soup for lunch, homemade, because my mum made some for me the other week when she was here, and I just had to remake some more. I actually made it with chicken bone broth to just get a couple of extra nutrients and benefits in there as well. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will catch up with you guys later.